Okay, so in this class we'll start with the further concept, that is Bohr's model of hydrogen atom. We have discussed three postulates or three assumptions of Bohr's model of hydrogen atom. We are going to the fourth assumption of Bohr's model of hydrogen atom. What is the fourth assumption of Bohr's model of hydrogen atom? It says that the angular momentum of an electron is quantized. The angular momentum of an electron in a particular energy level is quantized. Quantization andre eno? Quantization means having definite energy. Quantization means what? Having a definite quantity of energy. Okay, so in every energy level the electron is having a particular angular momentum. What is angular momentum? Angular momentum meaning ಏನು ನೋಡ್ರಲೆ? First of all, momentum meaning ಏನು? Mass into velocity. The product of mass and velocity is known as momentum. Angular momentum ಯಾಕಂತೇವಿ? Because the electron is moving in a circular path. Since the electron is moving in a circular path, we call it as angular momentum. Okay, so an electron can be present in a particular energy level, or an electron can move only in that orbit in which its angular momentum is having a definite value. ಯಾವ ಆರ್ಬಿಟ್ನಾಗ ಆ ಇಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ದು ಆಂಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಮೊಮೆಂಟಮ್ ಡೆಫಿನಿಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇರ್ತೈತಿ, ಅದ ಆರ್ಬಿಟ್ನಾಗ ಆ ಇಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗಬಹುದು. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಇಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಟು ಮೂವ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟ್ ಈಸ್, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್? The angular momentum. Angular momentum is given by the formula m into v into r is equal to n into h divided by 2 pi. N into h divided by 2 pi. And electron can move only in that particular orbit in which its angular momentum is given by m into v into r is equal to n into h divided by 2 pi. So ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಏನೈತಿ? ಆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಆ ಆರ್ಬಿಟ್ನಾಗ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಂಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಮೊಮೆಂಟಮ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಕ್ವಾಂಟೈಸ್ಡ್. ಕ್ವಾಂಟೈಸೇಷನ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಏನೈತಿ? ಎಮ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಎನ್ ಎಚ್ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ 2 pi. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಂಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಮೊಮೆಂಟಮ್. Right, so m is what? The mass of the electron. V is what? The velocity of the electron. R is what? Radius of the orbit in which the electron is moving. ಯಾವ ಆರ್ಬಿಟ್ನಾಗ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ತೈತಿ ಅದರದ್ದು ರೇಡಿಯಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಇರ್ತೈತಿ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ರೇಡಿಯಸ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆರ್. ಎನ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಮ್ ನಂಬರ್. ಕ್ವಾಂಟಮ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅದು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. n is quantum number. h ಅಂದ್ರೆ Planck's constant. pi ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತೈತಿ. What is the value of pi? 22/7 or 3.14. So this is the condition for an electron to move around the nucleus in a particular orbit. ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟ್ನಾಗ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಸುತ್ತಲೂ ಒಂದು ಇಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಸುತ್ತಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಐತಿ. ಏನು ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಐತಿ? ದ ಆಂಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಮೊಮೆಂಟಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಅನ್ ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರಲ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಆಫ್ h by 2 pi. ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಹೋಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ 1 2 3 4 ಹಿಂಗೆ 1.5 3.6 2.1 ಹಿಂಗೆ ಏನೂ ಇರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. 1 2 3 4 5 ಹಿಂಗೆ ತಿಳಿತಾ? ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಟು ಮೂವ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಅಸಂಪ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಬೋರ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್. Okay, now we move on to the next concept, that is for line spectrum of hydrogen. Explanation for line spectrum of hydrogen. Now in yesterday's class we have already seen, day before yesterday we have already seen there are 5 series of lines obtained in the spectrum of hydrogen. Now why you see these different lines in the spectrum of hydrogen? Look here, the reason is the electrons in the hydrogen atom, they are present in the ground state. ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಏನೈತಿ 1 ಐತಿ, ಅದ್ರಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ? 1 ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಇರ್ತೈತೆ, ಹೌದಾ? ನಾ these electrons in the hydrogen atom when they absorb energy, ಆ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಾವಲ್ಲ ಅವಾಗ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾವ? ಹೈಯರ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಲೆವೆಲ್ಗೆ ಜಂಪ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವ. ದ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಜಂಪಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಹೈಯರ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಲೆವೆಲ್. ಅದ್ರ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಏನೈತಿ? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಲೆವೆಲ್. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಇಸ್ 1s. ತಿಳಿತಾ? ನಮ್ಮ ಮನಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ ನಾವು? ನಮ್ಮ ಮನಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿರ್ತೈತಿ ಅದ್ರ ನಾವು ಏರಿಯಾ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್. ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್ನಾಗ ಒಂದೇ ಇಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಐತಿ. ಆ ಒಂದು ಇಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿರ್ತೈತಿ? 1s ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್. ಅದ್ರ ಮನೆಯಾಗ ಅದ್ರ ಮನಿ ಯಾವುದು? 1s ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್. ತಿಳಿತಾ? ಈಗ ಅದು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೈತಿ? ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಯಾವಾಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ, ಹೌ ಡು ಯು ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಎನರ್ಜಿ? ಬೈ ಹೀಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಆರ್ ಬೈ ಪಾಸಿಂಗ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಇಟ್. ನಾವು ಯಾವಾಗ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ? ದೋಸ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಜಂಪ್ ಟು ಹೈಯರ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಲೆವೆಲ್. ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಆಲ್ ದಿ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ ಡು ನಾಟ್ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ. ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ. Okay, so depending upon the amount of energy absorbed, they will jump to the higher levels. Okay, like for example, in one hydrogen atom, the electron may jump from n is equal to 1 to n is equal to 2. In the second case, it may jump from n is equal to 1 to n is equal to 3. It may jump like this, or n is equal to 4. Right? So it may jump to any higher level, right? Okay, depending upon the amount of energy it has absorbed. All the hydrogen atoms do not absorb the same energy. I told you, they absorb different amount of energy. Now I told you, when they get excited, ಯಾವಾಗ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೈತಿ ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ? ಅದು ಎಕ್ಸೈಟೆಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ನಾಗ ಹೋಗ್ತೈತಿ. ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಇಟ್ ರಿಮೇನ್ ದೇರ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸೈಟೆಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಟೈಮ್? ನೋ, ದ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ರಿಮೇನ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸೈಟೆಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಟೈಮ್. It will come back depending upon the amount of energy it is going to release. ಎಷ್ಟು ಎನರ್ಜಿ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ ಅದು ವಾಪಸ್ ಯಾವ ಲೆವೆಲ್ಗೆ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ. ದ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಮೇ ಜಂಪ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ n is equal to 4th level to n is equal to 2nd level, or it may jump from n is equal to 3rd level to n is equal to 2nd level, or it may jump from n is equal to 2nd level to n is equal to 1st level, or from n is equal to 3rd level to n is equal to 1st level. Okay, depending upon that we have different spectral series of lines: Lyman series, Balmer series, Paschen, bracket and Fund. So the other ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ depending upon the amount of energy it has absorbed. So what we get is known as what? Emission spectra. ಎಮಿಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಏನು ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೈತಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಅದು ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೈತಿ. ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ವಿ ಗೆಟ್ ಎಮಿಷನ್ ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ರೀಸನ್ ವೈ ಯು ಗೆಟ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ರಮ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಜಂಪಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಒನ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಟು ಅನದರ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನೋನ್ ಆಸ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಿಷನ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನೋನ್ ಆಸ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಿಷನ್, ಜಂಪಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಒನ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಟು ಅನದರ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಲೆವೆಲ್. Okay, so that is the reason why we see different series of lines in the spectrum of hydrogen. Okay, now see here, the energy is given by delta E is equal to EF minus EI. EF is what? Energy of the final state. EI is what? Energy of the initial state where the electron was. Okay, EF is energy of the final level. EI is energy of the initial level. Okay, now the energy of the electron in a particular orbit is given by, look here, energy of electron in a particular orbit is given by En is equal to minus RH divided by n square, minus RH divided by n square, where this RH is Rydberg's constant. Okay, now this Rydberg's constant is given by, look here, Rydberg's constant, the value is 109,677. What is the value of Rydberg's constant? It is 109,677. per centimeter. Okay, now this you convert in terms of joules. So the energy of an electron in a particular orbit is given by 2.18 into 10 raised to minus 18 divided by n square. This Rydberg's constant you are converting in terms of energy, joules. So it becomes 2.18 into 10 raised to minus 18. So the energy of an electron in a particular orbit is given by this formula. En is equal to minus 2.18 into 10 raised to minus 18 divided by n square. So I will substitute this value here. What do I get here? Delta E is equal to what? Minus 2.18 into 10 raised to minus 18 divided by nf square minus 2.18 into 10 raised to minus 18 divided by ni square. Okay, so here minus of minus. Now what I do is delta E is equal to 2.18 into 10 raised to minus 18 is common. So I will remove it outside. 10 raised to minus 18. Right. In the bracket it will be this minus minus becomes plus. So 1 by ni square minus 1 by nf square. Okay. Delta E. This is in terms of joules. Okay. Now, so according to Planck's quantum theory, we have delta E is equal to h into nu. Okay. So keeping this nu on one side, nu is frequency, nu is equal to delta E divided by h. Okay. Now what is the value of delta E? I will substitute here. It is 2.18 into 10 raised to minus 18 divided by h. H is Planck's constant. The value is 6.626 into 10 raised to minus 34 into 1 by ni square minus 1 by nf square. Okay, so this will be equal to mu is equal to, now when you cancel this you get 3.29 into 10 raised to 15 into 1 by ni square minus 1 by nf square, where ni is the initial energy level, nf is the final energy level. Okay, so here this is nu. Now we know nu bar, wave number is equal to nu by c. Wave number nu bar is equal to nu by c. Now we are having the value of nu here. It is 3.29 into 10 raised to 15. C is the velocity of light. 3 into 10 raised to 8 into 1 by ni square minus 1 by nf square. Okay, c is the velocity of light. How much is the velocity of light? 3 into 10 raised to 8 meters per second. This is per second, right? So nu bar is equal to, this will be 1.09677 into 10 raised to 7 into 1 by ni square minus 1 by nf square. This will be per meter. Okay. So here the main thing you have to understand is the line spectrum of hydrogen is due to electron jumping from its ground state to different energy levels. When it comes back to its ground state, it is going to give some amount of energy. Whatever energy it has absorbed, it is emitting out and it is jumping to different energy levels. That is why we see these lines in the spectrum of hydrogen. I hope this is clear to you. Okay? Now here, Bohr no doubt gave a little successful model of atom, but there were some limitations in Bohr's model of hydrogen atom. Okay, so we'll discuss about the limitations of Bohr's model of hydrogen atom. Now what are the limitations of Bohr's model of atoms? There are 3 to 4 limitations. The first one, it cannot explain the spectrum of elements other than hydrogen. Look here. Now, based on hydrogen spectrum, Bohr explained the model of hydrogen atom. Hydrogen contains only one electron. So, the limitation here is Bohr's model cannot explain the spectrum of elements containing more than one electron. Okay, so that is the first limitation. The next limitation, it cannot explain the finer details of hydrogen spectrum. Observed using sophisticated spectroscopic techniques. See here what this means. Now we are having a spectrum of hydrogen. So the second limitation is, if you observe a line in the spectrum of hydrogen, if this line is observed using a sophisticated method, sophisticated and advanced technology use ಮಾಡಿ ಇದನ್ನ line observe ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, it will appear that there is splitting of lines. This is known as doublet. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನಂತೀವಿ, the single line has been split into two, that is doublet. So this could not be explained. Why there is doublet? Why there is splitting of this line? That could not be explained by Bohr's model of hydrogen atom. There is some reason. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಇದು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ. That is not for your syllabus. Okay, so here when it was observed that the spectrum of hydrogen, when it is observed under spectroscopy using sophisticated technique, it is observed that this spectral line is split into two. Okay, so that could not be explained by Bohr's model of hydrogen atom. Okay, the next one. Okay, so here the third drawback or the third limitation of Bohr's model of hydrogen atom is, it cannot explain the splitting of spectral lines in the presence of electric and magnetic field. So whatever lines are obtained in the spectrum of hydrogen, if you expose them to electric or magnetic field, there is splitting of these spectral lines. Now what is the reason why there is splitting of these spectral lines? That could not be again explained by Bohr's model of atom. Okay, that is the third drawback. The fourth one, it cannot explain the formation of molecules by combining of atoms. It cannot explain how the atoms combine together to form molecule. That is the fourth drawback of Bohr's model of hydrogen atom. Okay, so these are the limitations. Next, we move on to of next model of atom. Now again I told you these were some of the limitations of Bohr's model of atom. First one was, it could not explain the spectrum of elements containing more than one electron. Okay, because his model of atom was based on the spectrum of hydrogen, which contained only one electron. The second drawback is, it could not explain the finer details observed in the spectrum of hydrogen. ಫೈನರ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು, ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಲೈನ್ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ, ಸ್ಪ್ಲಿಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಡಬಲ್ ಕಾಣ್ತೈತಿ. ಯಾವಾಗ ನಾವು ಅಡ್ವಾನ್ಸ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ರಮ್ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ, ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಲೈನ್ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಡಬಲ್ನಾಗಿ ಸ್ಪ್ಲಿಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಕಾಣ್ತೈತಿ. ವೆರಿ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ಡ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್. ನೌ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ರೀಸನ್ why this is seen? That could not be again explained by Bohr's model of hydrogen atom. The third drawback was why there is splitting of spectral lines when you apply electric and magnetic field to the spectrum. A lines yak split agtava. So again that could not be explained by Bohr's model of atom. The fourth drawback was how the molecules are formed by the combination of atoms. That could not again be explained by Bohr's model of atom. Okay. Next we move on towards so Bohr's model of atom was also a failure. Now since Bohr's model of atom was a failure, it led to the development of quantum mechanical model of atom. The quantum mechanics one line nage explain ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. What is quantum mechanics? It is a branch of physics where it considers matter as both particle and wave, where there is consideration of both particle and wave nature of the matter. That is known as quantum mechanics. Adu quantum mechanics antara, simple one line na helbekandre. Okay, so now what were the reasons which led to quantum mechanical model of atom? Okay, so that is dual behavior of matter. Dual behavior of matter. Now dual means what? Two. So matter has got both nature. Which are the both nature of matter? Particle as well as wave nature of matter. So this dual nature of matter was suggested by de Broglie. It was suggested by de Broglie. He said that matter has got both particle as well as wave nature, which is given by the formula lambda is equal to h by m into v, where this lambda gives us the idea about the wave nature of matter. Wave nature of matter. Okay. M, mass and velocity. So mass here is related to the particle nature. So mass is related to the particle nature of matter. Okay, so here how the wave and the particle nature of matter are related to each other? They are inversely related. More is the wave nature, less will be the particle nature. Or more is the particle nature, less will be the wave nature. Okay, so they are inversely related. So that was the relation given between the wave and particle nature of matter. That is de Broglie. De Broglie gave this dual nature of matter. Okay, where this lambda is known as what? Wavelength. Wavelength is the wave property, right? H is what? Planck's constant. M is what? The mass of the particle. V is what? The velocity of the particle. So this dual nature of matter or dual behavior of matter led to the development of quantum mechanical model of atom. Okay, we shall stop here for today.